We're on the air, baby. How awesome is it to see all of you here on the Mass Comedian Xcast Tuesday night? We got to be live. Hello, Big Ace. How are you?
What's up? How's it going?
Everything, baby. Everything. Want to remind people if they are not watching us live, if they're watching us on a delayed basis, which apparently a lot of people do, which is fine, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. If you'd like to buy a shirt, there's a link, I think, in the comments. If you want to join our Patreon, you can do that. We just want to have some fun and have y'all join us because, we're pretty cool characters, at least in our own opinion. Hey, so did you happen to see, did you happen to see the new shirt?
I did. That's awesome.
How about that, huh?
Snazzy.
It's big. It fills the whole shirtle cavity. And it came really fast.
I didn't realize we had a tie-dye option, too.
Dude, so initially I had hooked us up with one drop shipper, and the items they had were very, very limited, and I couldn't even get a shirt in my size. So I did a little more hunting around, and this outfit said that we didn't own the logo, which, jump in a lake. I own the logo. I paid for the logo. So I contacted the artist and got the copyright information and sent it to him. So we're all good now. But in the meantime, while we were monkeying around, they came up with a couple of new items, and one of them was a tie-dye shirt. And they've got, I think it's a gray, a green, a purple, and an orange. And they look pretty sharp. I wish they came in my size. Otherwise, I would have got.
Yeah, I didn't look at the size yet, but I saw them. I was like, they look pretty sweet. I'm gonna get me a hoodie here.
Yeah. And dude, and literally.
Yeah, so anyways, check it out.
Oh, absolutely, check it out. And if you want to get one, they come fast. I mean, literally, I ordered it on the 13th of August, and it arrived at my house on the 17th of August.
Oh wow!
So like boom, and it was there, and it's it's just a one-off, so it's not like I was buying a big parcel. Which, by the way, we encourage you to buy our shirts wholesale and then sell them because I mean, we need the advertising. Anyway, so that's kind of the housekeeping bit, for today. I think. Oh gosh, so much information to process here in the past couple days. Of course, let's start off with something I just want to talk about. We'll talk about the shows here in a minute, but let's just talk about quick the idea that NXT will debut on the USA Network on Wednesday nights on September 18th.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it's blatantly just a thing to try to keep AEW down.
Yeah.
I mean, if AEW was not going on right now, they would have never did it because that was such a great thing to be in-network exclusive. Mm-hmm. And it really helped drive their network sales for a while there because people were like, I get the network because I keep hearing about NXT.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't know. The thing is, it's like, oh, we're going to do this, and we're going to compete with them, and we're going to start like a month early or a few weeks before them. They're going to go, what, 3 weeks before the debut? You really think people in 3 weeks of watching NXT on USA are going to also be like, well, I'm invested now? No, it's history. They're going to watch at least the first one, and if they put on a show like they've been putting on their pay-per-views, hey, just deal with the fact you're probably going to get a lot of those people back. Not saying NXT can't compete, but NXT can't compete.
Here's what I think. I think it's a chess move, pure and simple. Although I also believe that it helps them with their talent. It helps them keep some of the talent because now they're going to be on national television instead of just a network. So now you're not maybe going to have as many people say, hey, I want to go over to AEW. I want my release. They'll find something for them to do now because now they got, not only they have a live show that they have to do on Wednesdays, it's an extra hour longer. So
now, did they say, is this traveling or is it just still going to be?
All going to be at Full Sail.
Okay.
So,
well, hey, that's huge for Full Sail University, though.
oh gosh, yeah, yeah. But so that part of it I think makes sense. The thing that you mentioned that I think they probably and maybe are overlooking is that was a neat thing for the network. And as they start to roll out this tiered system, I wonder if there are a lot of people that are going to say, I can watch it live.
Mm-hmm.
And so that exclusive part of it isn't going to be there. Clearly, $10 to watch all the pay-per-views a month is not terrible. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's one of the things that they'll be able to deal with or not.
Right.
So
It's just, I don't know. It's just weird to me that I don't know. It's going to be good. I guess for me, NXT has had problems. Like, it's not a necessity for me to go on a network every Wednesday and watch it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's cool. I read about it. I try to watch it when I can. I still haven't actually seen the takeover yet. I've just been too busy.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And it's not been, when like Owens and Nakamura and Sami Zayn and like all those guys were over there and things were getting crazy. Like, it was awesome.
yeah,
And it's still awesome, but I don't know. It hasn't been the same presence it was a couple years ago. And it'll be cool, but is it going to be WWE overload now?
yeah.
3 straight nights of WWE programming. Like, that's the other thing they're not thinking about.
Yeah,
Because
Monday, Wednesday,
WWE,
Friday, it's overkill.
well, and WWE is always going to present, they're always going to present the same kind of product. They're not going to be able to do the same product AEW is doing. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely.
So when you watch Raw and then SmackDown and then Wednesday, it's like, and yeah, I get NXT does a little bit different than what they do on Raw and SmackDown, and they do kind of get back to the more of like an indie feel. But at the end of the day, it's still a WWE program. You're still not going to see what you're seeing right now with AEW. So by that third day, you think people are going to still be like, WWE, I don't know. I think it's maybe not the best move, especially like you said, with the tiered system coming for the network. That could have been an ace in the hole to make people jump up in the tiering. So I don't know.
The other part that I have heard is that since it's going to be on USA, that Vince will have his hands in it, which is unfortunate. And the reason it is unfortunate is because my fear is that everybody that moved to the main roster and got sort of changed completely, and there's only a couple exceptions of people that haven't been changed. But my fear is that now you're going to be on USA. You can't do this, you can't do that, and it's like, I mean, I don't think they're going to be able to have the same kind of match that Gargano and Cole had the last takeover. I mean, clearly you're going to save that for the pay-per-view anyway, but I don't think they're going to be able to do that kind of thing on a network show. And the main difference, I think, a lot of times that people don't understand or don't think about is that as a public company, the WWE has a different kind of answer that they have to give. When the ratings are down or when the earnings are down, they're going to make up something that people are going to buy. And with AEW, they don't care. I mean, they care, but they don't have to answer to anybody other than Shad Khan. Because Tony's playing with Dad's money. So, and not
well,
that
the
that's a
other
bad
thing,
thing.
and the other thing too, though, is USA obviously hasn't been happy with the ratings as the last few years. I mean,
yeah.
they took it off. They took SmackDown off Sci-Fi, put it back on USA. They then got rid of the extended runtime.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, like now they're losing SmackDown to Fox. So it's like I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It'll be cool for a couple weeks that people who don't have the network can watch it, and it'll be cool for that extra hour because some people who maybe haven't been getting a shot will get a shot. But It doesn't impress me at the moment. I'll see what they do, but
Yeah. Well, so anyway, so that's good news, and I don't know if you've seen any of the tweets. Nobody on AEW really cares. I mean, they
no.
take it as a little bit of a, "Grr," but I don't think they really are that. I think it's a pat on their back that that Vince is that. I don't want to say afraid, but he's that concerned about them getting an audience. And the fact of the matter, we talked about this a couple of 3 weeks ago. They're not the same audience
No.
at all. So
No, but the disgruntled WWE audience that he's had to hear from for the last 15 years,
oh yeah,
those are the ones that he knows he's going to lose. You know what I mean? And
and
yeah,
he's
it may not be the kids buying the little toys, but these are the ones that are paying the money to go to the live shows, to make the
right.
trips to WrestleMania, that buys the network, that buys all the expensive merch, the titles. You know, these are the people he's going to end up losing. And it is what it is. But the thing is, a real wrestling fan is going to like everything.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, the other part of this is that I have a feeling that the people that are already fans of AEW or borderline are probably going to think, oh, why does he have to do this? It's going to ingrain them even more. It's going to make them even loyaler, because this is exactly what Cody was talking about when he says we're going to have a revolution, because here comes the big bad corporation trying to run them down. And I think those people that are on that side of the fence are just going to be even more rabid fans.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's funny. You're gonna see the whole. You're already starting to see it. I think I saw something in the thing tonight on SmackDown where it was a sign someone wrote that said NXT is the real elite or something like that. So it's funny. You're gonna start seeing all the, AEW is better. No, WWE is better. No, the Khan's better. No, Vince is better. Like
Wednesday Night
it's
Wars,
funny because
baby.
it's slowly creeping in now, and
Yeah.
it is what it is. Again, though, you can't deny the excitement that's going on for AEW, and then also for them to just casually a week ago be like, oh, we've only actually announced 40% of our roster.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, what do we got going then? So it's like they don't even have to like do any big announcements. It's just some casual, just like, oh, well, but yeah, you guys know we've only announced 40% of the roster, right? Like, there's a lot more. We just haven't said anything. Where it's like, oh, big announcement, NXT going to USA, and it's like, which one gets more people excited?
Well, that was the big thing, was that they were going to make this big announcement last night on Raw, and they didn't. And so it's like they're using every trick in the book to try to get people to stay watching that they can. And I mean, it's sort of disingenuous to the people that are loyal fans to them if you're going to tell them you're going to do something and then you don't do it. I mean, and that happens wholesale with that company. Again, it has nothing to do with the wrestlers, nothing to do with the talent, everything to do with the way that the operation is managed. They don't have a problem lying to people, saying, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then they don't do it. So anyway.
Well, it goes back to one of my favorite things that AEW did when they were kind of mocking WWE, when they did like All Out.
Mm-hmm.
The whole like fabricating their numbers for the seats. What is that? So 8,000 person arena
Rounded
and 20,000 people.
Rounded up.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like it's funny to see all this stuff get pointed out and become a thing, but it's funny now because you're seeing these moves like NXT going on USA now, and you can't help but think of, all right, they're sweating.
Yeah,
that's all this is.
God, yeah.
They're sweating.
Yeah.
And I mean, what was it? The first 3-4 AEW television shows sold out in 15,
the
20
first
minutes?
4 have sold out. Did they announce 2 more on Monday? I think it's Pittsburgh and somewhere in West Virginia. The one in West Virginia kind of makes me, scratch my head a little bit, but who knows? When DC, but they all sold out. And I would assume Pittsburgh sells out in a heartbeat too.
Oh yeah.
I don't, I think it's Charleston, West Virginia. I don't know if that's even a big city, but it
Some
must
kind of
be.
craziness for sure.
Well, it must be good. Must be good for their routing,
Yeah.
or it must be a hub, uh, or who knows? There might be. Who knows what it is? Anyway, all right. So, but that's exciting. I'm excited. That's all. I mean, that's all coming up very, very quickly. What is it now? 6 weeks till AEW
Hmm.
debuts, and what are we talking about? 4 weeks until uh, NXT comes on. Certainly, I'll probably watch the first NXT if I don't have anything else going on. But uh, I'm I already know what I'm going to get with NXT.
Hmm.
You know, there are some top-notch talent there. There's some top-notch stars, some guys that I like. Now I'm curious as to whether the Street Profits stay on the main roster or if they go back to NXT. I think they're
Yeah,
gonna I think they're gonna send some people back
I think so too.
simply because they got to fill that 2 hours.
Yeah. Although
But
they do have quite a few people that are working the road shows for NXT and have not gotten any TV time.
okay,
So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But that's the other thing too. Their first one, it's like, well, not even the first one, but like for NXT and just WWE as a whole going forward, as far as new sign, because that was the thing with WWE is before this all elite wrestling happened, you wanted to see your favorite indie guys get picked up from WWE, which is why when you saw, what was it, Sami Zayn, Kevin
yeah,
Owens, Hideo Itami, Shinsuke Nakamura, Asuka. When you see these people get signed, it's huge. And you're like, yes, where now I feel like going forward, like the wells run a little dry now because of AEW, that it's like most of the people you want to see are signed to one of the two. So where do these companies go ahead further? You know what I mean?
right.
Especially NXT because, rumor is AEW is throwing out some really nice deals. So it's
Oh
like,
yeah,
what are you guys going to do? What are you guys going to do? So,
yeah.
and I
It's
mean, the names that are still in the indie scene that are big names are like a Brian Cage or like a, Joey Ryan or,
mhm.
whoever else is out there. Like, especially Marty. I mean, Marty Skrull's a
Oh
huge
yeah.
name. And if WWE can get their hands on him when his thing's done, they would love it.
But
Will
I
they?
mean, but let's be honest, that's not gonna happen.
No, of course
You
not. I
know that.
mean, if that was going to happen and you knew it was going to happen, you would see his little gimmick in the Being Elite intro on YouTube disappear real quick.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So it is what it'll be
No, anyway,
interesting though, I guess. I don't know.
absolutely. All right. So we talked about this a little bit last week. The King of the Ring has returned, and we were trying to figure out whether it was going to be one night, whether it was going to be dragged on, and it looks like they will have the finals of the King of the Ring at the Clash of Champions. And so what that means is two matches per week until we get the finals, and that makes sense. But let me see if I can pop up our bracket here.
Were you kind of hoping they were going to really hash it all out on Raw?
I kind of was.
Me too. Me too.
I
I
mean,
was disappointed.
you know,
Because if you, yeah,
let's be honest, the first King of the Ring pay-per-view, they did in 3 hours.
right.
You know.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it was like, if you're going to drag it out this long, just bring back the King of the Ring pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Just bring it back. People will love it.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, it goes back again. They're doing a little trick for ratings. You know, they say, "Oh my gosh, here's something we haven't had in a bit. Here's the King of the Ring, and we'll stretch it out. We won't tell anybody that we're stretching it out until we start it. But
Because the advertising they ran last week really made it sound like Monday was going to be the King of the Ring tournament.
the King of the Ring returns.
They didn't say like the beginning of the tournament or first round matches on, like it was
Yeah,
King of the Ring's happening Monday, and it's like, all right, so they're dedicating the show to the King of the Ring.
that's what I was hoping for. But either way,
Way to let us down, WWE.
they're doing what they have to do. All right, they're doing what they have to do to keep the ratings. They're using they're using every ratings trick in the book. You're an old radio guy. You know how that works.
I know, but it's
You
just
know,
like, to
it
me, I
is.
guess it just doesn't work because if you don't hold interest, especially with nowadays,
Yeah,
this generation coming up, you can't hold their interest right off the bat and hold it for a while. You're gonna
yeah.
like lose them. And I understand having feuds and
Mm-hmm.
storylines be a slow burn can make that work, but don't slow burn a whole freaking gimmick event.
Yeah,
Just do it.
it's backwards. It's backwards. Anyway, let's pop up the graphic here for the King of the Ring bracket. And the first round we had on Monday was Cesaro and Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe wins. I kind of felt like he was going to, but as you look at the Raw bracket, it looks like it makes a little bit more sense to me than the SmackDown bracket, because my feeling is that McIntyre goes ahead, but now because Joe won, does Ricochet go over on Drew McIntyre? Because you can't have a heel match, can you?
I mean, you can, yeah, but I feel like Joe's kind of slowly turning.
Yeah, I would agree.
You know what I mean? And Cesaro's kind of a heel. So, I mean,
Yeah,
those two were heel versus heel. I see him and Ricochet going, but I see him beating Ricochet.
yeah.
But my bracket's busted already because I was just like Owens.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and
But
to
we
be
talked.
honest,
But
I'm
we
not
talked
100.
about it.
Yeah,
We,
and I'm
we
still not 100% sold that it's not going to get back in.
we talked about this last week. He's going to get screwed right away, and he did. He did. Cedric Alexander and Sami Zayn was a great match, by the way. And you know, I think Cedric Alexander, from what I heard, Paul Heyman really likes, and so that's why he's getting this push here.
Is it weird that I don't really like him?
To me, it's like he's okay. He's not like he's not like. I mean, he's interchangeable with any number of these kind of high flyers. To me. But and then the Miz and Corbin. I mean, the way that this is now, I got to think that Corbin's going to win.
Yeah.
I initially I would have said maybe the Miz was gonna.
Yeah, but yeah, after tonight.
So it's all kind of fiddled around. And then we'll move over to Owens and Elias, as we already mentioned. Ali and Buddy Murphy. Holy cow, that's a hard one to pick. Because
I mean, it's got to be Buddy Murphy, right? I mean,
at this point it does.
To be honest, I think he's winning now.
Oh God, he beat Daniel Bryan, for God's sake. You know?
And they really hammered the crap out of 2 nights in a row impressive matches. He's not a secret no more. Big things for.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, he's gonna win.
He's the new Goldberg, except he can wrestle.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, and then the next round is Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, and there's another one that's like, how the hell do you pick that?
I mean, Gable's going over. I think we know that now that we saw the little joking around he did.
He's the only one that they're paying any attention to. Although, I mean, God, I mean, if that was a real shoot match, that'd be a fantastic match.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I like a short-haired Gable too. I like the all business Gable.
Yeah. And Apollo Crews and Andrade. Andrade wins, and that was a really good match. And I felt like it could have gone either way. While I was watching it, I kind of felt like Andrade was going to win before the match started, simply because of all the talk that Vince would like to have a large Hispanic presence when SmackDown goes on the air, and then it makes sense. It makes perfect sense, I guess.
So you think we'll see Andrade eventually go against Mysterio's kid, Dominic?
I think at some point we're going to. That was a kind of a odd situation with Mysterio last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it got weird too because at one moment I felt like he was about to kiss him on the lips, and I was like, "That's weird."
Yeah, no
I
kidding.
think they held that just a little too long for father
No
and son.
kidding.
Um, yeah, it kind of creeped me out. But anyways, I mean, I guess it's what it takes to get Dominic involved in the storylines, which is stupid. Because how many times was he getting beat up like a month or two ago backstage and he was around, and it's like when it was
Oh
against
yeah,
Samoa Joe, like
yeah,
that was the time to finally have him debut. Why are we doing this long bit of him retiring and gonna take the mask off and all of a sudden, no, because you said you tag with me? Shut up. He should have been there helping his dad. That would have been the big save. People would have freaked out. Oh my God, his son's saving him.
yeah, yeah.
Again, again, a letdown. But I mean,
It's
it's
how
still
it works.
cool. Still cool though.
How
I
it
don't.
works.
Do you think he's gonna be any good?
Well,
He kind of looks. I don't know.
he looks. It depends on who trained him, don't you think?
I think so. Yeah, and I mean, his body necessarily isn't like he's not jacked or anything.
No. But if he's gonna behave like his father did, granted he's got a different body style, but
Well, and he's also
um,
like a foot taller.
oh yeah, but if he can do some of the things that Ray has done, he doesn't need to be jacked, you know.
So who are they gonna go against when they first come out here? Then who is the team that gets that? The Usos.
It's so hard to tell, you know. Um, I just I have a hard time figuring out where they're going to go with some of these things, because it's almost like let's look at the tag championship from last night. Where did that come from? You
Mm-hmm.
know, out of nowhere, they decide to throw Rollins and Braun together and let him beat the OC after what, 2 weeks of holding the thing.
Right.
Now, I think from, again, we'll go back to the rating standpoint. I think from the rating standpoint, I think it's great. It's they finally get to put a belt on Braun, because, well, that isn't with a little kid, Nicholas. But the point is that, I mean, why? I don't understand. It just boggles my mind because it doesn't seem to make any sense. Does it make sense to you why they did that
No, not at all. I mean, it's just.
from a story
Well, I
perspective?
mean, in the long run, I think it might make sense because they're really teasing. There's a fly right on my screen. He's pissing
Get
me
it
off.
off of there.
Come on. I'm gonna start throwing shit around. Yeah, I got him. All right. I think he left me alone. Okay. It didn't because you had like when they were in the locker room together, and then Braun did the little gaze at the actual
Yeah.
title. So I feel like, yeah, this is just a cheap way to get these two to be like partners. Because when's the last time we had a good mega power exploding story angle?
It's
You know what I mean?
been a long time.
Or a rockers
Yeah.
breakup. You know what I mean? Like, it's been a while since we could have something where it's like two guys come together, make this mega team, and then just can't work together. You know?
Yeah. I think,
And
and
then-
I think what'll happen is, you know, Seth will go on about his business, and then when it comes to the tag matches, I can see Braun just taking care of business and Seth getting a little bit frustrated. Tag me, I'm here to help you. Let's do it. And Braun's like, nope, I'm doing fine. You just stay there, partner. And that's where I think the friction will come, and I think that'll be good. But just at first blush, it's like, why did you do that to the OC? That was. I mean, from my perspective, I'm like, they all got belts. This is going to be great. They're going to be a great little heel faction, and they're going to be able to run roughshod over everybody. And now, not so much.
Yeah.
So I'm disappointed by that. It makes sense to me, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm disappointed.
You know what I want to see? I would love it if they brought Becky back in and they actually do like the Mega Power
Oh my
breakup
God.
and have Becky be like the center.
That
Like
would be
Braun carries her
hilarious.
out, and Seth Rollins just goes nuts. Comes back. Wait now, wait now.
That would be hilarious.
Oh, it would be so awesome. So I love any interaction Braun has when he has to work with one of the women talent.
Oh
Like
yeah.
when him and Alexa Bliss did their
It's-
Team Little or Big Little
yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah.
That shit was gold.
Yeah.
And like when she jumps on him and he catches her and they like lock eyes and it's like kind of crazy for that. Like, dude, they sold the crap out of that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
loved it. Like, I like Braun. He can do anything. Like, he can be like in a real thing. Because that's the other thing. I think he will win eventually from Rollins, and I think we'll eventually see Brock and Braun in a title match,
Which will be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. And just as an aside, I think the Canellis are long gone. That bet's gone forever. Do you think? I mean,
Yeah,
it seems like was that 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know. It just.
But I mean, how long could you have gotten that to go for anyway? Since she is legit pregnant and is going to be gone for a while. Yeah, man. So I mean,
I don't know. She's really good at it.
Yeah. Maybe she comes back down the line, wins like the women's championship, and he just comes in with like a stroller and 2 kids.
That'd be hilarious.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, all right. So what else? I'm trying to think. 3 hours worth. What else happened last night?
I'm liking the whole Sasha Banks.
Dude, I love that so much. Again, she's my big pop of the week. I love the fact that Natty was back there making another heartfelt speech and gets her clock cleaned yet again.
Oh, it was wonderful.
And by the way, you didn't go up to the show, did you?
No, and to be honest, up until it was on, and I missed the first hour because I was at work, so it didn't get turned on till 8. And like as soon as it came on, that's when I was like, "Oh shit, this is actually in the cities right now." Damn it!
Yeah.
Again, it was just it was one of those things where it was like I could have spent $100, got a decent seat, or $20 and went to the show we went to 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Hey, I'm all for. I will say this: we could have spent $150 and gotten the third row.
Yeah.
Not that means anything, but it's like
I thought I heard they are bringing another pay-per-view this next year to us. So
yeah.
So I mean, if they do that, I'll go.
Yeah.
And obviously if AEW comes through, everybody's going to try to go. It's going to be the hot ticket. But I mean,
God, yeah.
I don't know, man. It was just not good timing for me when tickets went on sale. I did look. I was actually on there the second they were on sale. And then I was just like,
dude, I was looking on Sunday, trying to figure out, do I want to go? And then I thought to myself, no, I got a battery for my phone.
Well, see, that's the other thing too. If I didn't have to work the nights like I do, maybe I would have like Sunday or Monday been like, you know what? All right, fine. But I mean, that's just it. I can't, it's so hard for me to get a free night. Nah.
Oh yeah.
Well, for at least the next 2 weeks. Ha ha.
There you go, baby.
And then my evenings are back. But yeah, it just kind of ruined anything like that. So
well, anyway,
I was lucky I went to SmackDown the last time they came.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say though about the crowd. The crowd seemed like they were pretty into it from watching it. And when Natty was giving her little speech in the back, which to me, I don't understand. They make such a big deal out of bringing people out to the ring to make a speech. And yet now we're going to have her do the speech back in a hallway. What the hell's the point? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. But that's fine. That's their business.
They just didn't have enough time. Had to be quick, probably.
Maybe. But I love the fact that when she was saying it, the fans, because they were starting to get bored, get that fly.
I know, he's like driving me nuts.
The fans were giving the what chant.
Right.
Because it's like, yeah. And then Sasha came in, and it's like, oh, yeah, baby.
Well, let me ask you this. And again, Sasha, it was just awesome. I love the whole thing. I love how she's back and she's pissed.
Mm,
Makes me happy. But here's my thing. I'm not an asshole. I'm gonna say this right now, everybody listening. I don't know what just beeped in my ear, but, and I'm not cold-hearted or anything either, but is there a reason we are still talking about Jim the Anvil Neihard dying, and every time she does a damn promo, like, it's getting, I don't want to hear it anymore.
yeah.
I don't quit with the poor me shit. Like,
I don't think you're being cold-hearted. I think it's it's been a year. It's like, and let's be fair. The 1 year anniversary of somebody dying is still kind of a big deal.
yeah, and that's fine. But it seriously feels like anytime Natty has a mic ever since then, it gets brought up. That's just what I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I like Natty, but it's just like, can we get off this whole, like, just be a, like, Natty's a good heel. Let her be a heel. Why do
Yeah.
they try to push her so much as a face? She's just not.
Well,
She's a good heel.
yeah, and I think what happens is there are some people that are good naturally as heels and naturally as faces, and there are a handful of people that can go either way. And the big problem, I think, comes when they try to make somebody something they're not.
Mm.
You know, because it would be different if they allowed those people. Go back to Moxley's interview and the business with all the writing. It would be different if they allowed them to use their own words, because then it would feel more genuine. There are certain times when people are saying stuff, it's like, nobody talks like that. Nobody talks like that.
Right.
That would never come out of a normal human being's mouth. So, I think that's one of the things too. I mean, if they let her do that on her own, which clearly they're not, I think it might turn out different. But either way, Sasha again, yeah, pop. Not only I mean, did I love that she shanghaied her there in the back. I also loved the interview she did with Cole, which, by the way, talking about things that come out of somebody's mouth that would never come out of a normal human's mouth. Go back and watch that interview. That his second question, when she doesn't answer the first one, is absolutely ludicrous.
Well, what I didn't. Again, I was at work, so I was like dealing with people yelling. I didn't get to hear it. I just heard her get up and walk away.
Yep. So the first thing that happens is he says, "Why did you do what you did?" And she said something about, "I was feeling, like I just had a little bell went off in my head and said that I need to come back," and whatever it was, and he not really answer the question anything at all, because what they want to know is, why'd you beat up Becky and Natty? And so then he rephrases it and says, well, what we'd really like to know is bloody blah about Natty and Becky, and we would thank you for that answer. It's like, nobody talks that goddamn way.
Michael Cole talks that way.
No, he doesn't.
Coal miner. Coal miner.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I've been a coal miner since 95.
Oh, my God. Anyway, but the fact she got up and left, I loved. And you're doing caterpillar stance.
Yeah, dude, this fly is like literally like, I'm gonna break my computer in a minute here. I don't even know how he got in here.
Yeah, it was. Well, maybe we'll make this part of the show.
Just every week, can Ace kill the fly in his apartment?
Can Ace kill the fly? This week we have a grasshopper. Oh my God. But anyway, so yeah, what else happened? The tag match between Bliss and Cross and Mandy and Sonya was pretty good. I like 3 of the 4 of them. I'm not a real big Mandy Rose fan. Just not.
But she's a goddess, Mask. She's a goddess.
She's a beautiful girl. Just not a big fan. Just not a big fan. Sonya Deville is so underused in my opinion.
Yes,
And
yes,
have
yes,
you
yes.
seen the Twitters when they were out doing the donuts? I don't know if they still do them or not.
Yeah, yeah, their little donut review show
Yeah,
they were doing.
oh my god, that is so hilarious.
Yeah, well, they're like super tight. Are they still trying to run that lesbian angle with them?
No, no,
Okay,
that went away. That went away.
that's too bad. That could have been gold.
Although they did in the match, and this is just me picking up stuff. Sonya had a handkerchief in her back pocket. I'm like, that's the way to do. That's what that means, Vince.
Right. I'm interested to see how long they're gonna let it go with Cross and Bliss, but I really like it. I love it. I don't
It's
want it to end.
it's fantastic. And that's the same kind of thing that's going to happen, I think, somewhere down the line, where Nikki's doing most of the work, and
Well, yeah,
and that's what's gonna. But Nikki is so starstruck, she's not gonna. It's gonna take somebody else to try to wedge something in there. So
Do you
anyway,
think? Do you think? Here we go. We're gonna really reach to connect some dots.
okay.
Do you think? Oh boy, from the Street Profits ends up actually having a little bit of an angle with Nikki Cross since he's been on the show before, being like, "I love her," and then
Well,
maybe that's what starts to pull her away from Alexa
oh
Bliss.
my God, that would be fantastic.
How awesome would that be?
I would, it's funny how you can think about things that you'd like to see and probably never will.
Well, now here's another question then. Whatever happened to because they love to put people's real business out on the show nowadays. So whatever happened to her little group that they had in NXT,
Oh, insanity.
Insanity, because she's legit married to Killian Dane, I believe.
Yeah, he had a at the at Takeover. Killian had a little run in with Matt Riddle, and so I have a feeling that that's probably something that's going to happen on NXT.
Okay, so he's back on
I
okay.
think. I mean, he was there. I have to assume that they're going to put him back there. Eric Young got hit with a chair by Seth Rollins and never to be seen again.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's just such a shame. Because he's hilarious. He's very good. Did you ever see his bits where he went fishing? Did you ever see that show?
Yeah, from TNA.
Yeah. Oh my
Where
God,
he was
was that
wasn't he
good?
married to ODB?
Oh my God.
Wasn't that the storyline?
Yeah. All so good. So good. Anyway. Yeah. But hopefully, and again, we're going back, but hopefully when NXT comes on, that'll bring some of these people back, get them back in the game.
Yeah.
There's so many people that are sitting around doing nothing. You know?
Yeah, that's very true.
I mean, when was the last time you saw Rusev?
Yeah, that's sad.
It's very sad.
Plus, he was like still had something going when
Oh God, yeah.
like it wasn't like he just disappeared. Like I don't know, it's weird. Like
I
mean,
they just had Nakamura on again tonight. After seems like, I know it's only been a couple of 3 weeks, but it seems like forever since he's been on.
so hey, maybe we see Sami Zayn do a stable and he'll bring guys out because he said multiple guys, and
Yeah.
I have one here. So maybe like Nakamura, Rusev, maybe he starts doing kind of like a job squad, but like more like actual serious.
Well, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I could get on board with that. Some of these people that are talents that are just not being used at all. That I mean, the way that they get tossed to the side is just unbelievable to me, and the thought that they think that people will remember them.
Right.
You know, oh well, we'll just bring him back. Doesn't work that way.
No, it does not.
On a reunion. Yeah, the NXT reunion.
So now, what did I hear that Charlotte challenged Bailey?
Yep.
All right, I missed the first like half hour, 45 minutes.
That was on the moment of bliss, and again, They made their statements. Charlotte's honestly probably one of the best wrestlers in the company, and also at this point, pretty close to the best heel.
Yeah. Yeah, she is.
If she's not the best, she is damn close. And I don't mean just women; I mean everybody.
She got it from her daddy.
Absolutely, she did. But she was given. They brought in. She was on Bliss, and they asked her some questions, and she gave her normal. I'm the one that everybody was watching, not Bailey. And Bailey came out, and to be honest, I can't remember if Bailey challenged her or if Charlotte challenged Bailey. I think it was. Doesn't make any difference. I mean, it does, but it doesn't in our forum, the People's Court. And then leaving, Bailey says, "Oh yeah, and just one more thing," and then shoves her out of the chair. And I just think to myself, but you're the face champion.
Why did Bailey don't take no crap?
But I know, but I just
it's weird.
They blur the lines, and they make it very, very difficult to pick a side.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you need to, and not that it's like that in real life, but
it's weird too when Bailey's such a super baby face. I mean, the whole hug it thing. Yeah. So when she's like actually being kind of bitchy, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But it's cool. Like I'm all for any of these feuds. So like Becky and Sasha and Charlotte and Bailey, I'm all for any of that just because of how well they know each other. So quality matches will be coming from these feuds. So I'm whatever. I'm good. Let's just do it.
Yeah. And again, it seems like the Kabuki Warriors are on a every other week schedule. I just keep bringing it up because
Oh, and it hurt them even more now that Paige is gone again.
Yeah, because now they can't talk. But see, that goes to the whole
what
thing.
They need to do? They need to
They need to literally, because I've thought about this doing it in comedy. It's just because sometimes I get so pissed off. What they need to do is just have a tape recorder with anybody speaking for them in English, and all they do is push a button, and it comes out. And because they're going to script it, right? Somebody could say, well, you guys don't do this. And then they could push a button and it goes, oh, yes, we do. That would be hilarious to me.
I was going to say, just anytime there's a backstage segment, they should just be in the back with a sign that just says, we'll wrestle for food. And that's it, though. And if anybody's like, they can't talk or anything.
Yeah. See,
but every backstage segment, though, I mean, every little thing, they just pop up in the back.
They can't even do the Aleister Black thing. They can't even say knock on my door because it wouldn't come out right, according to Vince. I just got to think, man.
I mean, it is a little rough, though. I mean,
No, I will say this. Man, I don't know what Asuka's saying 70% of the time, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care because whatever it is she's saying, she says with passion. And it's like, I don't know what she's saying, but I believe she could beat the hell out of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Kairi Sane, I don't know so much. She's like a cute little pixie.
Yeah, but you know who else was a cute little pixie?
Tell me.
Alexa Bliss.
It's different.
I'm just saying, though.
But
maybe she... Because they also did that with was it Io Shirai?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She went heel, and I think it worked great. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
If you can't speak good English and you want to be on the main roster,
you got to be a heel.
Heel.
Yeah.
Heel it up.
I've heard that so many times from many different sources, and one of them is actually when I listened to Busted Open on Sirius XM. Bully Ray, that was always his rallying cry. He says, just let her scream at people and be a heel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, makes perfect sense to me because I'd buy it.
Yeah, because when if you're facing it up, dude, you got to have that emotion. You got to be able to verbally connect and express. If you're a heel, you can say 2 goddamn words and just beat people up, and it
Yeah,
works.
yeah.
That's it. So like that's what they should do, and
No,
hopefully they do. I don't know.
I don't either.
I mean, the rumor is Fox wants more of an athletic show. That's a team that can be athletic. So
Absolutely,
we'll see.
absolutely. Oh my gosh. Well, let's see what else. The cliffhanger. Did you see the? I'm just skipping around because I have a hard time remembering stuff. Like I always said, I'll take notes because as much as I'd love this to be the best, it's just going to be me. But the cliffhanger. Oh my gosh. Did you see the cliffhanger at the end?
This is just a stupid long way to get to that. They did it.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And this is one again, I'll go back to my big complaint, which is I don't think they're writing this stuff the way they should be writing it. I think they should have outcome and work back, as opposed to what they're doing is, hey, we'll do this. And then they try to and then they get themselves in a spot where they got to try to figure out some bull crap to pull them out of a hole. You can't operate that way.
Yeah, and this is the worry for NXT now getting moved to USA and being on national TV is Vince will have more hands on because everything that goes live on national TV and sponsors and all that has his final word. And the reason you see this on SmackDown is because it seems to be the trend that like every week or every other week going into SmackDown 2 to 3 hours before show starts, he scraps the entire show and they have to redo the entire thing.
Yeah.
You can't give a quality product when you have 2 hours to put together that show. You just can't.
If we put it in terms of how you would do comedy, that would be like me going up to Acme Comedy Company for my very first time. Well, I don't know, not my first time, but say I'm going to go up there and do a feature set, and I get up there, and the owner says, I need you to come up with something new, and you got 2 hours. 2 hours to come up with 30 minutes of new crap? It's impossible. And Vince is coming up with 3 hours. 2 hours for SmackDown. And, I mean, my God, nobody. I don't care how good he is at his job. He can't do that and have it be successful. Period. There's no other program on television today that does that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, be it scripted, be it unscripted. You know what you're going to do. Of course, we didn't know what we were going to do, and we're killing it. But,
we are the exception to the rule, my friend.
But the fact of the matter is that on that basis, in that realm, it's just impossible. You know? Even the people that are writing soap operas, even, what are there, 2 left? Even when they were writing soap operas, they knew where they were going with stuff. And what would happen would be if they get themselves into a corner, they'd kill somebody off. Only to bring them back in about 6 months.
Yeah, but we don't kill anybody off anymore ever since the limo incident.
Oh, I know. And I'm not saying that that's what should be done.
I do. Let's do it. Screw it. How many times did they cut promos anyways? We're going into like a big event. You're like, hey, did you hear Brock's killing a guy tonight? Did you hear Braun's going to kill a guy tonight?
Yeah, murdered.
We are, bam. I just bought a $100 ticket to watch live murder. It's happening. Except for the people who were at that famous Hell in a Cell because they literally paid a ticket to watch almost live murder.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Or would that be more of like a suicide type?
Well,
I don't know.
You know, it's kind of difficult to say because clearly he had a little help, but it wasn't intentional. And he had every intention to jump off the cage or toss himself off the cage. Now, When he went off onto the table, that was intentional. When he went
Yeah,
through the
yeah,
top of the cage, that one was not.
right. Have you?
So,
And this is a little off topic, but have you seen? There's these videos of this kid. I guess he calls himself Superhuman. You seen this? And
no.
he's like I think he's like a Juggalo guy, like a
Oh,
fan of the
perfect.
Juggalos, the ICP.
Perfect.
But he does like wrestling moves. He does stunt videos. So he'll do
Yeah.
like he'll jump onto like a thing of like light poles, or he'll get like choke slam on thumbtacks and stuff. And he just did like these minute clip videos of this guy who doesn't probably look the most in shape. Maybe doesn't look all there. Definitely could tell it's down south somewhere, maybe like Florida or something.
Hey.
And but it's like it's hilarious because the guy's just like, I'm gonna do this for my juggalettes, woo woo, don't try this out. Oh, here we go. And then before he does everything, he always just screams "fuck this shit," and then does it. And then
Oh no.
always afterwards, he's just like just screaming in pain. And this guy's getting like 6,000 hits on his videos, and they're hilarious. And like he's starting to get shout outs from like Rob Van Dam or something, or maybe it was Sabu and like Mick Foley and like some of the guys from the ICP, like other rap bands or something. It's just crazy. You got to check it out. Yeah, this guy's called it Superhuman. I think he's even doing a show in Florida at Atomic Wrestling this weekend in Cocoa Beach, where my boy Wes Briscoe will be in the title match.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you guys want to see this crazy kid,
so how long do you think he'll do in that show?
I don't know, because he hasn't done anything else but take these bumps. I haven't seen him actually do any other wrestling moves. So it's like, I don't know if he's actually trained and can wrestle, or if it's like a backyard type deal, or if he's just going to show up and be like, yeah, fuck this shit. Just jump through some shit in the ring and then be like, thanks, everybody.
Yeah. It's like there used to be a guy that blew himself up in a crate full of dynamite.
Yeah, was that Evil Knievel?
No. This was a dude that, I mean, I remember seeing this guy. Where the heck was that? Iowa State Fair. And this guy apparently went around and is like, yeah, so he's gonna put it up in there, or he's gonna be in dynamite. It's like, it ain't dynamite. But everybody's like looking, and he gets into this big old wooden box, and they count down, fans, 3, 2, 1, and then it explodes, and it's, however they've got it rigged, it looks like it's just blowing to pieces. And there's smoke, and then, oh my gosh, get an ambulance out there. And he stands up and waves to the fans, and it's like, you son of a weasel.
I've seen the guys that do the cannonball ones at the fair where they get shot out of the cannon.
Yeah.
And it's just like, really, bro? Like, I know there's just a lever that's pushing you out in there, man. Come on. You really
Leave them alone.
You really think someone's lighting this joint?
Let them have their fun. I got friends that are magicians, and I know exactly how they do stuff, and they don't think I know, but I know.
Hey, I respect the magicians, but like, come on. Are you just using a stage prop like that? I mean, he's not claiming to be magic. He's just claiming that he can take a fucking cannon blast, which isn't true. I won't mess with a magician just because they can steal my wallet.
I won't mess with a hypnotist because they can make you think you're a chicken.
How funny would that be if just one episode we do a show and I just happen to say one word, and next thing you know, you just start going nuts. It's like, what the hell?
Hypnotism.
Live went to a hypnotism show.
Oh my gosh.
Do you believe in that though?
So here's what I believe. I have seen it. I believe this. And I've known 2 people who actually one was a therapeutic hypnotist, and one was a stage hypnotist. And the therapeutic hypnotist also did stage shows. What I know from watching is that the people that are doing that really are doing it. It's as they say, power of suggestion. Now, I will say that I must have been about 1985 or 6, maybe later. When I lived in Richfield, Minnesota, there was a hypnotist at a church festival or something that we went to. And I went ahead and volunteered because I didn't know what was going to be. And by power of suggestion, I knew I was doing it, um, and I didn't care. So it wasn't like I was compelled to do it, but it's just like he said to do it, so I did it.
Could you have not done it easily?
Um,
That's the question. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think so. I mean, I think I could have just said this is ridiculous, but I mean, I was having so much fun doing it. It's almost like you get into this state where you're like, "Oh, I'm part of the show. I gotta fulfill. I can't let them down." Um, that's kind of how it felt to me. Having said that, I'd love to learn how to be a hypnotist. Because I'd make you cluck like a chicken.
okay.
I always, I always. So the one guy that was a stage hypnotist, I'd always tell my friends when I'd introduce him to him, I'd say, "Don't look him in the eye. He'll turn you into a chicken." And then everybody'd laugh, and he'd say, you got to be careful. You can't hypnotize a hypnotist. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's like you can't steal from a thief.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if I'd buy into it, but yeah.
Some people it works. Because it's basically what you're doing is you're bypassing the resistance mode in your mind. So, and it'll only work for certain things. Like, you can be hypnotized to go kill somebody because that'd be against your nature. You won't do anything against your nature.
So then, how do they do it to quit smoking? If you know what I mean?
That is so. Here's how it works. If you want to quit smoking, you're like, oh man, I want to quit smoking. I'm just having a hard time. So they hypnotize you into this idea that it's just in your mind that you don't you know you can stop. You can stop. And I know the guy that was a hypnotherapist. I mean, he had a thriving business stopping people from smoking, helping people lose weight, any number of other things. And it's not so much the hypnotist as the fact that he's just sort of helping you harness your own mind. Does that make sense?
I'd always be afraid that it'd be like an Office Space situation where like the hypnotist has a heart attack and then you just don't care anymore.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
possible.
Like, whatever. So
well,
that's good stuff. So
perfect.
what do we got? So they're gonna have more second round stuff. We got NXT.
We still have two first round matches. Let's pop them up again here quick. First round match between Ricochet and McIntyre on Monday, as well as The Miz and Corbin. And I think I still think it's got to be McIntyre, and I think it's got to be Corbin. Because you can't have that many. So I think The Miz is going to beat Corbin, and I think it's going to end up being McIntyre and The Miz, and then on this other side, my opinion is it's going to be Buddy Murphy, and probably Chad Gable, and then Andrade against Buddy Murphy, and then it'll be Andrade and McIntyre for the King of the Ring, and either one of those I think would be a good choice to win.
I'll tell you what, I'm going all in on Buddy Murphy.
Okay.
That's my pick. My pick was Owens. He got screwed. They're really billing Buddy Murphy strong. They make a point to say that the King of Ring is something that can make your name.
Mm-hmm.
Samoa Joe's a name. Ricochet's a name. McIntyre's a name. Everybody but like Alexander, Cruz, Gable, Ali. And to be honest, I even think Andrade's already made. I don't think he needs this tournament to be what he is. So it would be those guys that I think need this win to become that next thing that the King of the Ring always does. And I just think it's going to be Murphy like you said, won a huge match against Roman Reigns, huge match against huge win against Daniel Bryan. And now he's going into that thing against Ali.
Yeah.
You gonna tell me Ali's gonna beat him after he just had a hell of a match with Roman Reigns and then pin Daniel Bryan?
I think there's zero chance of that.
He's taking it all. He's the king.
He will be the king.
All hail the king.
The ring.
He's the king till he gets backstage, and then the other king's back there like, I'm the king.
Oh, by the way, we did skip over this. I don't know if you saw this. Jerry Lawler was supposed to interview Sasha, and in the midst of him making some speech about King of the Ring and selling the King of the Ring, the lights start flickering. Out comes the old Fiend. The lights start flickering, and Lawler's like, I've seen this before. I'm getting out of here. So he starts hightailing it up the ramp, and then Bray comes out as the Fiend and puts the old mandible claw on him out there on the stage, and then that's it. Oh, we'll hope to have that interview with Sasha later. The King is seeking medical assistance. He's being checked out. And then, of course, they couldn't tell us. They're like, you know what? Mick Foley got up fine.
Yeah. It's funny too. I love how he plays this gimmick so well, because I love that he goes on his Twitter and is like, "Please forgive me, Jerry."
Yeah.
You know, like he always
God.
apologizes to these guys after he does it. Oh, it's so great.
It's awesome. I'm afraid that they'll end up changing it. I've already heard rumblings that they're going to. I mean, I don't see how they can. It's already so over.
If they were to screw this up for him, I don't see him staying through his contract or past another contract.
No.
And you will see him hightail it out. The sad part will be, though, is this was him. From what everybody says, is that he pitched this whole idea. All this was him.
Yeah.
And the unfortunate part now is it's owned by Vince McMahon.
And it's over.
And the game.
This is good shit.
It's good shit, says the game. We're going to be on USA.
He doesn't do that anymore.
He still does. He sounds like it.
He does not.
I think he does.
What do you know?
Terrorizing.
Oh, my gosh. Well,
you know, Camp WWE really nailed their personalities on that show, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I don't know about you. I go down a rabbit hole on YouTube. I go looking up old stuff, and I found a video because I was looking up some of the old wrestlers that I remembered when I was in grade school, and I was looking up a character named Black Angus, and he was called Black, which he couldn't probably use now. But he was this big, I think he was about 6'4", if I remember correctly, and about 280. And he had way before this was fashionable, a long black beard and long black hair. And he was billed as being from Scotland. He was British. And he started as a heel, and then in his later incarnations ended up as a face. I found a video of a tag team match with Harley Race and I can't remember the other guy, but Black Angus tagging with Jack Briscoe. And it's like, I mean, it's old school, and I'm like, I still love it. And after the match, Harley Race gives a knee drop to Jack Briscoe. You know, just like, hey, get out of there.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's one of the fun things for me, is to go and try to track down some of this really old stuff, because it kind of reminds me where wrestling has come from when I started watching. You know, in the early to mid 70s, you know, it was still very much kayfabe, and you couldn't tell me otherwise.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Nothing will ever beat the story that broke kayfabe, though.
Oh yeah.
Good old Sheiky baby and Hacksaw. I just wish I could like see, like, because if that would happen nowadays, it'd have been completely filmed.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I would have loved it to see that reaction of the cop coming up, especially if he watched wrestling back then.
Oh,
And he just
my
walks
God.
up and he's just like, "You're a traitor." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
just
It's
the
fixed.
chic.
It's fixed.
The cheeky baby.
Yeah.
I break your back, I make you humble, baby.
You son of a bitch.
Go get this pussy.
Motherfucker jabroni.
Yeah, that dude is
Yeah.
amazing. That was probably one of my favorite moments ever of just handing him a microphone and being like, "Here you go, Mr. Sheik. Have a good show."
Oh my God. So where was this at?
That was another Waterloo weekend.
Was it?
Yeah, it was him and Bob Backlund doing a thing I ran sound for.
Oh my God. So where's the Sheik living now? Do you know?
I don't know.
He did live up in Minneapolis for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
One of the program directors when I was working up in Fargo, when he was going to high school, actually went to high school with his daughter,
Oh.
and to all indications seemed like a very normal person. Although I think the Cheek was probably fairly normal until he got on the drogas. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
You don't like my marijuana smoke? You get the hell out, moolah.
Fabulous. Oh my God.
Man, yeah. So when is Clash of Champions?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. I think it's in. Let's see here. Oh, let me bring this up. I'll tell you. 1, 2, probably in about 3 weeks.
Right.
three or 4 weeks, I'm guessing.
So Clash of Champions, basically a new way to say Night of Champions, which nothing was wrong with the Night of Champions pay-per-view. I kind of like it better than Clash of Champions, but whatever. So yeah, I guess that's where we're going to see this thing come together again.
But didn't they match it together though? Didn't they kind of hybrid too?
Yeah, they did, because what was it? Clash of Champ. What is it? It's Clash of Champions. What was WCW's Clash? Was it Clash at the Beach or some shit?
No, that was Bash at the Beach.
Oh, the Bash at the Beach. Because they did something, didn't they, with Clash?
Yeah, they did. And I can't remember what it. Super Clash, maybe.
Super Clash, maybe. I don't know.
Super
But
Clash.
then I still like
At the
Night of Champions. So it'll be interesting to watch. You're 2 weeks out right now from All Out, which surprisingly I feel like we haven't been hearing a lot about because everybody's just talking about these first few shows in October.
I think All Out is gonna turn out fantastic. I was listening to Jericho. They were interviewing on that Busted Open show a couple of days ago. Maybe it was Monday. Maybe it was yesterday. Maybe it was Friday. I don't remember. Anyway, point being, he was talking about working with Paige. He says, I've never wrestled him. I don't even know if I've seen him wrestle, but it doesn't make any difference because I know he's good and we're going to have a hell of a match. And I'm just like, holy crap. That's the ultimate in confidence. And believe me, I think that will be an absolutely fantastic match.
Yeah, I mean, we know what's going to happen is going to be great between that, Mox and Omega. You got the women's championship is going to be crowned that night.
Yeah.
And Britt Baker cleared.
Oh, she did?
Got the okay this week.
Oh, good. Yeah, she was on that last Elite bragging about going to Pittsburgh because it was where she went to dental school. But yeah, the ladder match between the Bucks and the Lucha Brothers. So, Lucha Brothers are I just love them.
They're amazing.
And I love, you know, and maybe it's just me liking people that I don't understand so much, but I love Penta Jr. He is so freaking awesome to me.
Did you see his mask got taken off by Moxley this week?
Oh, it did? No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't see. I mean, you saw, but you didn't. You know, he covered up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Moxley got his mask off him this last weekend, I believe it was.
Oh my god.
So that was kind of cool. I agree. They're great, really great. My one thing with AEW, and I don't remember if we've talked about this. Have we talked about the Kylie Ray stuff going on?
No.
Have you heard anything about this?
No.
I guess, I mean, if anybody's a huge AEW fan, and if you were a Kylie Ray fan, I was, you've noticed that she's been kind of MIA.
Yeah.
Hasn't been on the last few shows, hasn't been on any of the Elite stuff on YouTube. I believe her Twitter's been removed. So apparently there was talk that she was having some mental health issues.
Oh, wow. That's too bad.
Yeah, because I guess she was the one that was supposed to have the match with Leva Bates, the librarian, at, was it Fight for the Fallen? No, it was Fighter Fest, I believe.
Yeah.
And instead it was Allie. And I guess that was supposed to be her and didn't make it. But like now it's just, again, I don't think I haven't heard anything or seen anything online. But yeah, kind of interesting to see that she kind of just disappeared.
Yeah, gosh.
Especially when her gimmick is that over the top happy.
Oh, yeah. Well.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, behind closed doors.
Everybody's a good actor.
But yeah, it's kind of, it's yeah. Hopefully, like, because who was the last person in the industry that Lars Sullivan?
Yeah.
Made his debut and like had a whole like.
He didn't even make his debut though.
No, he didn't. Yeah, he had like a super huge meltdown. Which, by the way, where the hell has he been?
He got hurt.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yep, you're right.
And I can't remember if it was shoulder or back, but it was something fairly major.
Well, that'd be good because when he comes back, he can come back as a big monster again.
Yeah.
I mean, he is like I'm not a huge guy on big guy on him, but I mean, he serves his purpose well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it was just interesting to see that like Kylie Ray's been kind of MIA. So I don't know. I guess if anybody out there knows what's going on or like has heard anything, like, you know, let us know on our social media. Hope everything's good. But I was hoping to see her part of this. Yeah, and I was hoping to see that she'd be part of this women's title possibility, and I don't know if that's going to happen.
Oh man, well, it's I don't know. I'm excited to see how many more people they have hidden.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all. I mean, a little over half of their roster not being announced yet. That's huge.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it could be any number of people. I mean, crying out loud, Eric Cannon, who's running First Wrestling, he could be a guy. He's definitely got the goods. You know.
I wonder if you think Joey Ryan's a work. The whole I'm not signing with anybody. I'm going to stay on the Indies.
Boy, yeah, maybe.
You think that's work? He shows up at like their first TV taping or something.
Maybe.
I mean, obviously though, they'd have to tone the dick stuff down.
They can't. Yeah, they can't clearly do that.
But then again, it is TNT, man. They can get away with a little bit.
I will tell you this. After, although they're not airing, like I watched. If you watch the new Stone Cold show at all?
Briefly again.
So I watched it. The first one was with Rob Riggle, and I'm not a real fan of Rob Riggle, so I didn't watch it. The second one was a Sal Vulcano from the Jokers, and I was interested in that, so I watched that whole thing. And holy cow! After 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock Eastern, they dropped some words on USA that I was not prepared for.
Oh yeah.
Shits, goddams. Well, I mean that's about it. But you know,
hell yeah!
Oh hell yeah! It was amazing. But anyway, my point being that they're going to be on earlier than that, so that won't make any difference. But
it won't. But I don't know. I still feel like they get a little bit because they play like those like special cases shows all day, all on TNT, and like. Dude, some of those things get a little graphic.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, like, I feel like they might be able to push the envelope a little bit, especially more than WWE will get to.
Oh, absolutely.
But that's not a network thing. That's a sponsor thing. Hello, Mattel.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So, whatever, but...
It is what it is. What's coming up next week? More King of the Ring?
More King of the Ring.
Let's see. Do I have anything else coming up this week? Nope. I don't have. Dude, I don't have another show until September 29th.
Where's that at?
That is at the casino in Harris, Michigan, which is north of Green Bay, about an hour and a half. And that's a Sunday night. So the good part about that is I get to drive up on Sunday, and then I don't have to work on Monday
There you go. How far a drive
because
is that?
it's a bit of a poke, about 5.5, I think.
Okay.
Um, now I've worked at this casino many times. Um, the interesting part about it is that I got snowed out once. Uh, did I get snowed out a second? No, I didn't get snowed out. No. So what happened was I was booked. I went into the hospital, so I had to blow that one off. Then she said, and then the booker asked me if I could go on whatever date. Must have been whoever that they had me fill in for. And I said, sure. And then that one we got snowed out. We got halfway there, and then they called and said, yeah, the casino's not gonna do this. And then so that was cool. And then I went and actually did the show. Um, and that one was pretty good. And then they asked me back again like 6 months later. So I mean, it's odd. It's like there are certain places they're like, oh yeah, this guy's good. He'll do that. He'll be great there. And I'm like, yeah. You got any other rooms?
Right.
I'm happy to go anywhere else.
Right. Well,
Um,
shout out to Michigan.
yeah. Anybody in Michigan, come on up to. It's in the UP too, also, by the way. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but anyway,
Yeah, I
they
got
used
nothing
to-
going on, so
Perfect.
I got nothing other than another Mass Comedian X-Cast next week.
We'll do that on Tuesday. All right, my friend. Just a reminder, everybody, if you watch this far, holy cow, you got some loyalty
Sorry.
because it's 122. This is a good one.
A little longer than usual.
A little, well, you know how it is. I want us to start doing more fun stuff and not care about it. I mean, I still care about the wrestling, but I want us to do fun stuff so people are like, oh yeah, those dummies. But anyway, subscribe to us if you would. Just as a reminder, look for us on Patreon. Buy a T-shirt from us. They're good. They're cheap. Well, they're not cheap, but they're good. They're inexpensive compared to other T-shirts you'll get, and they will get to you fast. Other than that, I think we're done.
Yes, sir. Let's wrap
All
it
right.
up.
We'll do it. All right, Ace. We will see you next week. Mass Comedian X signing off. Oops, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one.